Welcome to Colombia. Welcome to Medellin, Colombia. Look at that beautiful view out into the city. Guys, we're gonna be here for the next 4 days exploring everything the city has to offer. This is my first time in South America, which I'm so excited to finally be here. And let me give you a quick little tour of our Airbnb here because we're known to kind of mess things up. So let me show you before we get into it. So right here we got the living room, beautiful patio and view that I just showed you guys, little kitchen. Come back here, got an awesome bathroom, and then into the bedroom, and it leads into this beautiful view. Super awesome Airbnb. This is about $160 a night. It might be 180. I don't remember exactly when I booked it. However, fluctuates between, I would say, about 160, 180 US dollars a night. This is a little more expensive than some of the other parts of Medellin for Airbnbs. It is a super affordable place to travel if you're looking to travel. But we just got here. It is super exciting, and I can't wait to explore this awesome city. But with that being said, we just got in from Fort Lauderdale. I am super hungry, so we're gonna go downstairs, get some grub, and go explore the city. It looks awesome, and I've been wanting to come here for a long time, so let's do it. So the Airbnb that we're staying at is like kind of a hotel, so we're just here grabbing a quick bite to eat before we head out. And we ordered some birria tacos and some nachos, and it's been a very long day. We've been going since about 7 a.m. so some food sounds really nice. Well guys, I may or may not have slept for about 3 hours after the last clip, but we are here. We walked a little bit away from our Airbnb and we're catching an Uber to a street called Provenza Street here in the neighborhood of El Poblado, which is one of the hot spots here in Medellin. It's known for digital nomads. A lot of foreigners live here, a lot of foreigners stay here, and it's just one of the local neighborhoods here. It's probably one of the better parts of the city to stay in just because there's a lot of restaurants and stuff that's centrally located. So we're gonna go check out this walking street and see what we can get into and hopefully grab some dinner because I'm starving. But first impressions of Medellin are absolutely amazing, and I'm super excited to explore more of the city, but the vibe is awesome and the people are super welcoming. So we just made it here to Provenza and things are quite busy, and I think it's just gearing up for the night. It's about 9 p.m. and the clubs here, gentleman at our Airbnb was explaining to us that some of the clubs here stay open till like 12 p.m. the next day. So super crazy, but take a look. There's a lot going on here compared to where our Airbnb is. This was about an 8-minute drive. As I was saying earlier, I'm feeling the altitude a little bit here. The elevation of Medellin is quite high. I believe it's around 4,900 feet of elevation, and I'm feeling it a little bit, so I'm trying to drink some water to stay hydrated. And we need to find an umbrella because it is extremely rainy here this evening. Well, if you're looking for nightlife, the Provenza walking street and area is for you. It is in the El Poblado neighborhood here, as I stated, in Medellin, and there are restaurants, bars, clubs, everything. It is super busy here, as you can see. I used my bartering skills to get her an umbrella. Are you happy?
Yes.
It was really rainy, and of course the rain's stopping now. We kind of found our way here to an Indian restaurant that is on the strip of bars and restaurants called Naan. We love Indian food. If you don't know that, now you know. So we're going to be rating some Indian food here in Colombia. I am starving. Are you enjoying your food? We're still high hiding from the rain, but that Indian food was super good.
Really good.
If you're here, check it out. It's called Naan. Super, super good. Just stopping here in a supermarket to get a few things before we head back to our Airbnb because I'm absolutely cooked. But take a look around. It's always interesting going into foreign grocery stores. It's one of my favorite things.
Good club soda.
We love club soda.
These are made with stevia.
That's cool. Good morning, everybody, from Medellin, day 2. Beautiful, beautiful morning here. The sun's out. Got McKenna with me. And we are heading to go grab a quick coffee. And then we are heading to go visit one of the most popular things to do here in Medellin, known as Comuna 13 or Comuna 13, which historically was one of the more dangerous neighborhoods here where people faced a lot of hardship and violence. And now today, present day, it's been completely redone and there's a bunch of tourist shops and just shops and restaurants and a bunch of stuff to do, and I'm sure a lot of history to learn. So we're gonna go do that, but right now we're just on a walk here and it's just a beautiful morning. Feels good to have the sun out, and we'll see what we can get into today, guys. Let's go. Take a look at this hill. This is just one of many huge hills here in Medellin, which is in the mountains, but it's crazy, the elevation. It reminds me almost of like San Francisco or Pittsburgh, maybe. Somewhere super hilly, and I would not want to be going the other way up the hill, so I'm very much happy that we're going down the hill. As I said, I'm super happy we're walking down the hill because I seem to get McKenna into these situations and
Or I get an asthma attack.
in all these countries we go to where we're always walking up super steep hills, like in Korea and various other places when we did the DMZ tour. So I'm very happy that we're walking down the hill. Look at all this bamboo on the side of the road here. A ton of it. That's super neat. You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Of course, we went to a local spot, Starbucks. But in our defense, this morning for breakfast, we did have some Colombian coffee, so forgive me, forgive me. But we're about to get out of here and get into a taxi, and we're gonna be heading to Comuna 13. It's about a 20-minute drive from where we're at right now in El Poblado. We made it here to Comuna 13 and it's super, super busy. There's a ton of shops and restaurants and stuff, and it's super busy. This is probably the busiest part. Last night was pretty busy though too, of Medellin. We're not really one for souvenirs, but McKenna's little sister loves rubber ducks, and we're in a rubber duck store here. A bunch of big ones. That's a pretty good one.
How do you go?
So it's kind of interesting, they have escalators here that you can take up instead of climbing all the hills, which is kind of nice. So as I stated before we got here, this used to be one of the most dangerous neighborhoods here in Medellin, if not the most dangerous. And now in present day, it is obviously, as you can see, super, super touristy, filled with shops and restaurants and everything. But there was a lot of violence, and I would assume cartel violence, that took place here. And it's really sad that people that were affected, but now it's a lot better than it used to be, thankfully. So super interesting and quite the turnaround here. But if you are here in Medellin, this is a really, really popular hotspot to be able to look around shops and restaurants and whatnot. And obviously For those of you that don't know, this is the home of the Medellin cartel, obviously, which was run by Pablo Escobar. And we're gonna get more into that the deeper into this video we get. Bit of a traffic jam here. So right now we are heading down from Comuna 13 and we're gonna go try and find a sit-down restaurant. A lot of the restaurants here are more like bars and kind of little sit-down places and different types of various street foods, but we want kind of a bigger meal, so we're gonna go try and find a restaurant to eat at here once we get out of all of the shops and stuff like that. Having a nice sugar-free Red Bull after our experience in Comuna 13. It was really cool. If you're not a person that likes crowds, I probably wouldn't recommend. It gets really condensed with people shoulder to shoulder, but there's a lot of life there. If you like drinking and stuff, there's a ton of bars. So I would just say it kind of depends on you, but it was a really good experience. You can do tours. We didn't do a tour, but there are tours available. But yeah, it was a good experience. That was our first real time going out here in Medellin to see something. Minus last night, I guess we did. But so far it's good. It's good to see stuff in the daylight. I feel like at night, it's just, you don't really get the full flavor of everything. So to get to see the views and the people and everything here in the day, it's been really good. Well, we made it here to El Altar Taqueria. Let's give it a try. Starting off here with a little bit of street corn. Let's give this a try. Looks really good. So this corn's kind of interesting. On the top, there's like cooked corn kettles that are crunchy, and then at the bottom, it's like Mexican street corn, like warmed up. But it's really good. Got our tacos. Let's give these a try. Cheers. Really, really good. And we got a little bit of spicy salsa. So we love spicy food. Super good. Guys, those tacos are up there on par with Mexico City tacos. Those were phenomenal. If you are here in Medellin, this place is a must try. El Altar Taqueria, and there's multiple locations throughout the city. Must try. Super, super good. Now we are gonna go kind of wander a little bit, and maybe, I'm not sure what time it closes, but we want to go take a gondola up to one of the parks. It's one of the top things to do. We'll kind of see. After about a 15-minute drive, we made it here to one of the public transport areas or stations to take one of the gondolas up to Parque RV to look out. I believe it has a really good view over the city, so it'll be a really cool experience. And every day here that we've been here, well, I guess we've only been here for 2 days, but both days it's been super rainy here around 4 p.m. just because the heat kind of builds, you know, with the mountains. So right now we're using our trusty umbrella in a rainstorm. Unfortunately, we just found out that the park closes at 5, and tomorrow being a Monday, it is going to be closed. So hopefully on Tuesday we'll get to do that. So we're going to have to take a rain check, literally, because it's raining, from going up there this evening. But we did find a super popular mall that looks pretty cool. We're going to go take a quick Uber to and check that out just because it's really rainy. And yeah, so unfortunately it rained out today just because we were too late, but hopefully we'll get to do it on Tuesday. A little bit of a difference compared to the neighborhood we were staying in El Poblado. There's a lot more noticeable trash here, as well as in the river there was a lot of pollution, which is a bit unfortunate, but different parts of the city offer different things. So yeah, right now just waiting on the Uber in one of the downpours. The rain stopped, which the rainstorms kind of roll in and out here, but we made it to the Santa Fe Mall here. So we're gonna check out what a Colombian mall's like. And then there's a supermarket, an actual huge supermarket, not the kind of smaller one we were in last night, here, so we're gonna check that out too. This mall is a lot bigger than I originally thought. There's so many different stores here. So if you need to do any shopping or you need some entertainment here on a rainy day, I would check it out. There's a lot going on here. Super cool. And they have like a little ice skating rink. We made it to the market here and we got some papaya and some other fruits so that we can have something to eat tonight as a little snack. But right now we're on the hunt for some more fruits to see if we can get any that we can cut up or something like that, because the ones we got were already cut up and pre-packaged. So let's see if we can find anything else. Good morning everybody from Medellin. We are back here and we are about to go grab a coffee, and we'll be doing a super cool experience today. We're going to do the Pablo Escobar tour. Not a huge tour person, but that is something you have to do when you're here in Medellin. And we're gonna get to see, I believe, some buildings that he built, maybe the prison that he built for himself, as well as maybe some different items and stuff that were in his possession at the time, such as like his plane. I don't really know, but I'm excited to learn about all of that. And today is another beautiful day here. It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit and nice and sunny, so it feels good. Let's go explore and see what we can get into today. So I wanted to record this for you guys just because the only time we really spent a lot of time during the day here in El Poblado was went out was at night on the first day. So I kind of wanted to show you guys some shots here of the street. Super nice here. Really nice area here in Medellin. Tons of restaurants, bars, barber shops, cafes, pretty much everything. And I think I'm gonna get my haircut here either today or tomorrow, so maybe I'll come down here. But this is one of the main streets here in El Poblado. Made it here, and we're in another area here in El Poblado where we're gonna meet our guides here across the street at the Parque del El Poblado. Lo siento, my Espanol is not very good. We'll be meeting them there, and I think it's a couple hours. I'm not too sure. I kind of just booked it on Viator, but we'll see. Be a cool experience. There's a little market here right now too that we saw last night with different vendors selling various different things, so maybe check that out. We have about like 20 minutes, so we'll see. So after about a 30-minute drive, we made it here to Pablo Escobar's gravesite, which would be pretty surreal to see. It's not something I ever anticipated myself doing, so let's go check it out.
So guys, welcome to Monte Sacro Cemetery, and here we are in the mausoleum from Escobar family. The first grave that you see here belonged to Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Now I told you earlier, Pablo Emilio Escobar was born in December 1, 1949. He wanna die in December 2nd, 1990.
So we're getting caught in a downpour. We got to check out the gravesite of Pablo Escobar and the people that were super close to him. Man, this rain's intense. There's McKenna. So now everyone's running back to the bus. But that was a really interesting experience getting to see that. Ooh. Raindrops are so big too. It's like those like super big ones that are in like a strong storm, you know?
Remember that Pablo was angry because American government revoked his visa? So Pablo gonna put a carbon in the front of the embassy from the United States in Bogota City. And just in that place.
We are here at a grocery store now, just about an hour after the tour concluded, and I wanted to leave you guys with a few different facts that we learned throughout the tour. An estimated 46,000 people died due to cartel violence here during Pablo Escobar's reign here in Medellin. The tour guide was explaining to us that it's kind of split here with if people like him or dislike him. He was a bit of a Robin Hood in the sense that he was building a lot of infrastructure for the poor. He was giving the poor money. He was giving kids toys on Christmas, and was essentially, in some ways, for some people, a man of the people. But there's other people that suffered his violence, that lost their lives, or family members lost lives. and I think it's a bit split here in Medellin, but he said a lot of people dislike him for all of the violence and all of the deaths that took place during his reign. We got to check out the gravesite that I showed you guys, as well as we got to see the memorial to the victims that died in the violence. That was the last clip that I showed you guys, was the memorial here in Medellin. The prison that Pablo built for himself, I believe, is closed. I couldn't get a 100% answer on that because we're just busy, there's a lot going on, but I believe that is closed. And one of the roller rinks and basketball courts and stuff is getting renovated according to our tour guide, but he really thinks it's getting destroyed. So it seems in some ways as though they're trying to get rid of the past here of what happened. Obviously focusing on tourism. Their tourism here is through the roof right now, which is a lot different than it used to be. For those of you that don't know, I'm walking in circles here. For those of you that don't know, Medellin used to be the murder capital of the world. So this new renaissance scene here in Medellin, I think, is something that they're very happy about, but they're trying to erase some of the past in the sense of trying to get rid of some of the things that he built. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to touch on was the soccer field that I recorded was one that Pablo built here, and the way it's angled was so that his mother, who worked close by, could see him when he was playing there. And it was the first lighted soccer field with lights to play at night in all of Colombia. But we couldn't get out because we couldn't get out of the car to look at it because our tour guide was explaining to us that the residents say it's a residential area and that they don't really want people out taking photos and stuff, which is totally understandable. So I got that quick clip from inside of the bus. But if you are here in Medellin, I highly recommend doing that tour. It'll give you a huge history and insight into the bloody past that was here in Medellin. And it's so good to see the city doing so well. The tourism, as I explained, is through the roof, and they have a lot of malls here that are brand new. And it's just a really great place to be, and I think it's definitely somewhere you should add to your travel list if it isn't. I think it's one of the most underrated places I've been, and I absolutely love it here. Good morning, everybody, from Medellin, day 4. Last night was a bit of a crazy evening. I didn't end up recording because, so let me just explain. So we took an Uber from the grocery store we were at to Plaza Botero, which is one of the top plazas to see here in Medellin. And the Uber driver started explaining to us that it was extremely dangerous to go there at night. And we kind of drove by, and he said it's a lot better to visit in the morning. So we took an Uber back here. We hung out at the Airbnb for a little bit, and then we went walking into El Poblado, which is the area that we're staying, to go to a Colombian restaurant we wanted to see. At one point during the night, we unfortunately lost McKenna's phone. It was either stolen via pickpocket or it dropped out of my bag, one of the two, I'm not too sure. So the past like 12 hours we've been kind of dealing with that because of our jobs and stuff. It's extremely critical, so it's a bit unfortunate, you know. It's probably my own fault. It wasn't secure enough in my bag, and unfortunately we lost it. So these things happen, but it's been a whirlwind of trying to recover stuff. And let me tell you, in case you haven't had your phone stolen or lost, it is very difficult to get verified with the 2-step verification code if you don't have access to your phone number. So we've been dealing with that. And the restaurant we went to, I wanted to record, but it was just, there was a lot going on. So tonight, I think we're gonna go back to that Colombian restaurant because it was super good food, and I want to record that for you guys. And yeah, today we're just gonna be exploring. I also want to use this to kind of explain the safety situation here in Medellin that I see a lot of people online asking. I've had a lot of people asking me, do you feel safe? Yes, I feel very safe when walking around here. I would even say during the night, for the most part, depending on the area you're in, it is fine. The pickpocket thing is kind of something, it's just part of the world, right? It could happen anywhere. It's unfortunate, things happen. But I will say, in Comuna 13 that we went to, as well as the Provenza Street here in El Poblado. They're very, very condensed, and I would say it's a heavy pickpocket area. And that's where we were last night. We were close to Provenza, the street. So I would say the biggest threat here, honestly, would pretty much just be like petty crime and pickpockets. Overall, I felt super safe. The people have been super nice, and yeah, I honestly, I can't recommend. I still think I think Medellin overall is somewhere you should add to your travel list. I've really enjoyed it. I mean, look at that view. It's so pretty, and the people are so nice. The food here is top tier. I'm just very blindsided. Blindsided in the best way possible. This is the most underrated place, one of the most underrated places, I think, besides China, that I've ever traveled to, and I've just been loving it. So that being said, yeah, I do feel it's very safe here, minus a few pickpockets here and there, but that can happen in any country, and I have not felt unsafe at all during our trip here. So you should add Medellin to your travel list because it's been a great trip so far. Today we're going to be starting off the day heading to the Pablo Escobar Museum, and I'm typically not a huge museum person, but they have a bunch of stuff from his life and information and stuff. So we want to go check that out and see what we can find out about everything about Pablo Escobar. Are you still mad at me about losing your phone? The good thing about the museum is it's about like a 3-minute walk from our Airbnb, so all we got to do is go behind there and we'll be there. I don't know, I'm sure it costs money to get in, but I'm not sure the price. So the deal is we're waiting in line for a ticket. You need to have a guide. I guess it's about 45 minutes to an hour, but you get to see a lot of artifacts and stuff from his life.
It's $30 a person.
30 USD per person, so we're gonna check it out. I don't know how long this line's gonna take, but we'll check it out. Are you enjoying your Coke Zero at Pablo Escobar's house?
Oh, yeah.
So we bought the tickets. It's about 30 USD each, and the English tour starts in about 5 minutes. Like I said, I'm not the biggest museum person in the world, but I do want to see some of the items that he owned and learn some more information than we did yesterday. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a red squirrel. That was super unique. There's a red squirrel that just ran across the street. He's over there on that ledge.
Going 1, 2, and 3.
El Patron.
The Hacienda is his biggest property, and La Manuela Farm in Guatemala.
Guys, check out this flight simulator that Pablo used to teach his pilots. That is too cool.
The government confiscated 25.
So our tour guide was explaining to us the cars behind us are some bulletproof cars that obviously had some run-ins with the police, and those are the bullet holes that are in the window, or I guess I should say bullet marks. The flight simulator that I showed you guys was pretty awesome. We'd use to train as pilots just because obviously the flying was extremely dangerous. And in front of me, got a plane. We'll be hearing some information about that shortly. We didn't really find out any information about the plane, but the jet ski that I just recorded was one of Pablo's 10 custom jet skis that are after the 1977 James Bond movie that he was obsessed with. And he bought that and created artificial lakes just to recreate the photo.
Most known as the cocaine queen of the Black Widow, she was the first person to go.
So we just finished up the 45-minute tour of here in Medellin. I highly recommend it. Had a lot of cool artifacts and stuff from Pablo's life, and we learned a lot, even more so than yesterday. There was so much information there. I would check it out, and that's coming from a non-museum person. It's about 30 USD. It's located here in El Poblado. But right now we are heading to the Colombian restaurant that we went to last night, and we're gonna try and give it another shot just because everything was kind of thrown up in the air with the phone getting lost. So we're gonna go try that, and I can't wait to show you guys. And we're gonna have some authentic Colombian food.
Hola.
Hola. We're We're here at Mamacita Medallo, and we're gonna be eating some Colombian food. The atmosphere here is super good, and I'm excited to eat some empanadas hopefully, and we'll see what else we order. I don't know, I'm excited. Are you excited for your empanadas?
My favorite thing.
We got some potatoes, some ribs, empanadas, and what else do we got?
Sirloin.
And like a sirloin
Rice.
with some rice and beans. We're super excited. Oh, and the empanadas have beef and potato. Alright guys, I'm gonna give this one of these empanadas a go. Cheers. Really, really nice. I love spicy salsa. We just finished up lunch, and look at this rain. It is pouring. Just got into our Uber, and if you want to check out that restaurant, I would highly recommend, if you are here in Medellin, to give it a shot. It has some local Colombian food, and it was so good. But right now, we are on our way to try to go on the cable car, like we tried on day one, to go to Parque Arvi and check out the views and stuff. I don't know how well it's going to work out today, given the rainfall, but we'll see. We made it here to the cable car station. The only issue is I think they only take cash. So now the mission is going to be to find an ATM so that we can get the ticket to go to the top. Found an ATM and we're heading up. Let's go. I'm so excited. One thing that's kind of interesting about this is that this is actually a public transportation here. It's not like a gondola tourist attraction. This is, a lot of people are, we've stopped quite a few times and people are getting on and off and going to their house or wherever they have you. So kind of interesting. I've never seen something like that. This ride is a lot longer than I thought. We've been on here for probably at least like 20 minutes. And now we're more looking at jungle. Super interesting. I first thought that this was going to be like a view of Medellin, but I'm not super sure what to expect. We'll see when we get to the end here. Looks like we're finally about to make it. It took about 30 minutes to get here, so we'll see. No idea what's up here, so we'll see what we can get into. Go, 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 go. We made it. Yeah, let's go. Oh, it's raining again. The rain comes and goes. But it looks like there's like a little market here. So we're gonna check it out. Gracias. What'd you get?
Strawberry.
Let's give this strawberry a go. It's pretty good. A little bit sour. I don't know how long this rain's gonna last. Hopefully not long. Again, I didn't do much research, but I do think this is like a national park because you can pay for tickets over there. And it looks like there's some like hiking trails and stuff down there. So, I don't know, it's pretty cool though. I'm not sure how much tickets are or whatnot, but maybe we'll buy some if the rain stops. Go on a little hike or a little walk. And I was grabbing us 2 coffees and I believe an empanada. Love empanadas. Ugh, I can't get rid of these hiccups, but I love empanadas. Yeah, the coffee here is really good too. Colombian coffee is very, very good. So we'll see. I don't know, it's still raining. Update, it's still raining. But looks like there's people hiking down through there. They have little ponchos on. Oh, you can buy them. They're 5,000. That's interesting. Maybe we'll do that. 5,000. So maybe we'll grab one. Pretty cool though. I didn't expect this. When we originally came up here, I was just looking on maps and I thought it would be kind of like a viewpoint, like I said, of Medellin, but it's actually extremely beautiful up here. It's cool to see the nature of Colombia, just because I feel like for the past few days we've mainly just been hanging out in the city, which was good too. I love cities, but it's cool to see the jungle like that. That's good coffee. Here's a map of the park. It's quite big. And I bought us some ponchos, which I thought we were gonna go on a hike, but it looks like the little door right there is closed. So I'm not too sure. So this is what I was talking about earlier, guys. This is one of the indigenous people's homes that they have on display here, which is pretty cool. And there's some information and stuff regarding how they built it. So we just got back down to Medellin, and look how busy this is compared to when we came midday. So if we can give you any tips, try not to come close to rush hour. Although the park closes at 5, but it is super busy right now. Well guys, that is gonna wrap up our time in Colombia for the time being. I wanna thank you so much for watching. I had a fantastic time in McKenna 2 here in Medellin. Definitely a place you wanna add to your travel list. It's up there for one of the most underrated places that I've been. I absolutely loved the culture, the food, and everything in between. And yeah, I think it gets a bit of a bad rap because of its history, but at no point did I feel unsafe. Like I said, minus petty crime, if you make smart decisions, it's a fantastic place to be, and I really truly had an amazing time. I can't wait to hopefully come back soon someday, and thank you to the Colombian people. I had a great time, and yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, saying goodbye from Medellin, Colombia. Adios.